Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I'm Connor Coggins, and it's Saturday looking at a ship. And Discovery has a new ship for us. Well, not actually a new ship. An old classic.
That's right. They brought us the D7. In the last episode, Choose Your Pain. By far, one of the most iconic ships from Star Trek, and one of the most mean and aggressive looking ships. Beautiful design.
And a ship that stayed around both conceptually Enterprise with the D5 and the conceptual D4, and also the Katinga reused we saw in the 5th episode, and then in the movies with the Katinga, and then in DS9 with the Katinga, and then in Voyager with a D7, even though we look at Katinga. So legacy ship. And here is that shot with a D7. Is in us it's picture 7, and you can see they use a TOS shuttle for this episode. It was great that Lorca brought back. And this is a D7, and yeah, it was great to see the classic ship back.
It looks so fantastic on screen. The lighting they used, I love that they used the original shuttle. I think it's fantastic. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it was great to see some real reference. I mean, we saw lots of odd designs in the previous episodes, but it's nice to see, it was called a D7. It was nice that the computer said, classify D7 battle cruiser. And we were like, yay, D7. But then we were in a different universe, weren't we, Stuart?
Yes.
Go to actual picture 1.
Oh,
you guys appreciated the little bit of joy we had for my picture.
Well, when I heard the computer say D7 and I saw this, which kind of like clean lines, I thought maybe, just maybe, this would be something good. I thought this was like this section. You got the neck and like the front of the wings.
You could save it. You could save this bit.
Yep, I thought so. I was hoping. I was like, yes. I actually went, yes, a D7. They referenced D7. I was so excited. And we didn't really see much of this ship as far as this scene went. It was just this part.
Yes. I mean, let's burn through the pictures so the audience can see all the views, and then we'll go back and discuss them. Yep. So picture 2, it's being tractor beamed. We can see these wing motif leg things at the bottom with blue glowy things. Next picture, we can see the back. It does end in a point rather than a head. Sorry, Stuart. And it's 3 aft engines. And then in the 4th picture, it was in the Battle of the Binary Star. You can see the exact shape. And then let's go back to picture 1. So yeah, that is the D7. What do you think?
I think it should be the denied 7. Get it? Denied. No, not a super great fan of it. I mean, any other ship title you could have given it would have been fine. It even fits in Prime Timeline as far as being like a alien ship.
Oh, sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
Even a small fighter, based on that last picture we saw of it at the Battle of the Binary Stars, makes a perfect fighter shape. As for D7, I'm not impressed. The way they took the Klingons in Discovery is just too far out of the box for me design-wise, and there's not enough visual tie-ins and cues.
And obviously some people are going to complain that we're complaining, but you call it a D7, it's not a D7. So if this is prime canon, we're now officially retconning, because this comes after, this is what all D7s actually look like. But that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't link from the D5, doesn't link to the Katinga. I mean, it isn't a D7. I mean, for the first time in Discovery, all 5 episodes, I thought, no, this is actually now, we've confirmed this is a parallel universe. Other things you can say, okay, it's just modern TV. Or, oh, it's just, visual reboot, but it's still meant to be our prime timeline. This isn't a D7. So, therefore, it can't be you know what I mean? It can't be the prime timeline. Now, while you could argue the D7 name, they gave a new ship the D7 Motica in 10 years, it still doesn't fit on the D5 timeline. Like, it doesn't really evolve from the D5, so there is no evolutionary line there, particularly. So, it doesn't evolve into Katinga. Whatever. Now, I said to you in the review, if it had been called B7 or G7, Battleship 7, Gunship 7, it's a prison ship, so P7, a reference to D7 and that is also a 7 of the class would be a fine reference. Oh no, the Klingon B7. Cool. Battleship 7, yeah, absolutely. But to call it, as I said in the review, a reference is good, but when a reference is literally wrong, it's a bad reference, and you're damaging what you're trying to be, since there's nothing in this design that looks like a D7 at all. I mean, even the deflector rotates for some reason, and it just confuses me. I mean, it could be any. We were sort of accepting the Klingon ships as being something else because they were not the ships we were being told. But why would you name it a D7? I mean, what would be the rationale for the writers?
I honestly don't know. If I knew the answer to that question, I'm sure I'd be a lot less frustrated in my day-to-day life. It just seems like a way to say, hey, we know about Star Trek. This is a D7. We know they had those things, right? Yeah, D7. Okay, cool. All right, let's put that in there. All right, so now they know that we know what we're talking about. Let's continue the story.
I mean, just to prove sort of the point. I mean, go to picture 6. This is the picture we were given. Picture 7. That's actually what a D7 would look like in this same rough scene. Go to picture 8. That's the D7 they're presenting us. Picture 9. That's what it would actually look like if a D7. I mean, these are radically different everythings. I even try to match.
That's a beautiful picture, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and I think it actually looks better than the other one. The other one's just a big metal. I mean, Discovery has a habit of not really showing off the ships that aren't Discovery or Shinjo. Like, they're overly dark, far away, motion blurry. You can't really get the full sense of shapes or any of the details. And this is a very confusing shape. Whereas this D7, it's clear, it's crisp, it's simple. And these aren't like the best pictures ever. I'm not claiming this is the best CG ever. And obviously, you wouldn't literally have the 1960s made out of wood D7. You'd take the shape, you'd hyper detail it, you would, you'd keep the exact same shape but reinvent the pieces maybe. I mean, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It's a visual reboot. You can do that. You did that with Phaser. That's fine. You wouldn't use this. I mean, and I could have used our Katinga model that Rob Bonshun helped us make, and it would look a lot better, high detail. But that defies what I'm trying to say here. This is a D7. Go to picture 10. This view, what it should actually look like is picture 11. That would be the actual view of the D7. I mean, radically different everythings, and certainly unrecognizable. I mean, in this picture, it looks like a Wraith cruiser with a Babylon 5 non-cruiser engine block at the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very confusing. I'm sure you guys were expecting this because, again, as we said before, Discovery falls or succeeds on its own merit, on its own presented details. We love the phaser because it links very faithfully between the two. The communicator, bit too advanced, but we can see what it's trying to do. The rifle, you don't like as much, but I can see what it's trying to do. It links great. Shinjo, too advanced, but at least it links the NX in terms of style. Discovery, sort of links, but it's radically different in terms of new design because it's meant to be a specialist ship. The uniforms linked to both JJ Franklin and the Enterprise and X-01, that's fine. This doesn't link to anything.
Well, nothing Klingon really has. Even their whole attitude, the way they act, it's all just been redone, reimagined. Especially, I don't want to say their appearance again because that's just beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
But yeah, some visual continuity with what came before and what it's based on would be fantastic, guys. I mean, there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that in the makeup, but as far as ships go,
yeah, if you took out the ridges, the Klingons wouldn't have anything of Klingoniness. Yeah, I mean, these are certainly the worst incarnation of Klingons. They have no honor. They have the ones we've seen are racist and Nazi purists. I mean, this is not what Klingons are. And the ship designs, I mean, like I said in the previous episode, the fact that we see designs later on, they're used for a century. The real Bird of Prey, the real D7, the real Katinga, the real Negval, the real Vorchath, ships that are used for decades, are all the designs that stuck and are the head of the spear in these battles in DS9. They're not going to send the old ships, they're going to send the tip of the spear. So all of these designs we see are all the failed experiments of a certain era because they're not ever seen again. They're the failed ships. The ships that don't work, are not fit for purpose, not fit for mission. And it just seems bizarre to me. I mean, it's a great shape.
it is. Yes, absolutely.
And I love the deflector rotating at the bottom. I love whatever the points are. I mean, it's a perfect Babylon 5 ship. It's a very good Stargate ship. I mean, it looks like Destiny. The fact that it's got, if you look at the picture 4, those big flowing blue glowy bits are cool. Looks awesome.
It almost looks like one of the fighters you get to fly in Star Trek Invasion, the game.
Yeah.
Starfleet fighter, yeah.
But in no way is it a Bird of Prey. Is it a Katinga? Is it a D7? Is it Klingon? it boggles the mind. That's really the only thing I can say. Well, I've said a lot, but it boggles the mind. And I don't even think. I don't want to be bad to the designer, because the designer worked very hard on all these things. But like, what are these blue elements? What are these things? I mean, what does it all mean? What does it link to Klingon design? How is it? You know, are these pointy addy bits disruptors? Are they just?
Yeah, like you said, you don't want to diss the designers because they did a fantastic job designing stuff. It's great.
That's cool.
It just doesn't visually say or have a style that's reminiscent of what we're looking at. We're supposed to be looking at.
It really highlights that the producers told the designer, don't make it look Klingon. That's what they said. They said, don't ignore all the previous designs, flat out. Do something new.
Yeah.
There is no other interpretation. I mean, if this had a head, if this had a head that came down but very integrated, you know, more like a like I actually prefer like we saw the ramming ship, you know, that really strong point. If had that and two engines that came down, you could say it was a really sleeked out prototype D7, you know, proto D7 that doesn't really fit. I mean, the fact that D5 was more pointy, you can sort of say maybe they retracted the points again, really stretching. But again, technology does change a lot in a lot of years. But it's kind of hey Stuart, the inside looks great.
The inside looks great. I said that in a review. I love the hallway. Even with the yellow color, it still feels Klingon to me.
Yeah.
It would be better if there was more red lighting, especially at the grates above. But yeah, the interior is great for a Klingon ship. Just bang on, perfect job. Yeah,
make the top grills red, give it that grating light, and it's a perfect D7 Katinga internal corridor. Spot on.
Yeah.
Pity about the outside. and unfortunately, there's not much to say, guys. I mean, normally in Trekyards we analyse something, but...
Well, let's analyse something then. Let's jump to picture one for a second. I just want
to... Okay, yeah, please do.
So we got these things sticking out. Are those disruptor arrays, do you feel? Or are they more communication spikes?
No, we do see...
Because we see spikes all over other ships. Yeah.
We do see Battle Binary Star is firing disruptor bolts from roughly those locations.
Okay.
Never my guess. We know they fire green pulses. And I mean, why wouldn't you deck it out with lots of guns?
Oh, absolutely. Now, so is that a red deflector there, do you think? And what are those blue elements beside it? That always interests me.
See, I mean, okay. Okay, if you got the next picture too. If there's a bit more of a hole, it'd be a natural link to have that be the torpedo launcher. You know, the Sarcophagus ship had one, and you could sort of argue maybe the rotating elements are a mass driver to magnetically send a torpedo rather than having propulsion. You could say that. Kind of cool, and it'd be a visual tie-in with a D7.
Sure.
And then the blue elements are the deflector grids, the warp grills. Because it's weird. I mean, those bits are like I mean, what's it called? In one of the video games, Armada 2, with those wings at the bottom, very much a bird. Kind of feels like it has those little like claws at the bottom, but they're not claws. They're you know, like solar panels almost.
Yeah. Oh man. Picture number 3, it does hold a few cues, I guess. I mean, you do have this thing here, as you said. If you want to switch back between your picture and this picture, there are a few visual tie-ins. The impulse engines are sort of in the right spot. The one in the middle even looks very similar to the D7 impulse engine.
And if it wasn't lit, it'd be the shuttle bay from the D7, which in some versions is the bit above the impulse. So in this version, it's just below, but then it is lit. So not so much.
Yeah. Almost has a Star Wars Star Destroyer vibe with those big engines at the back.
Yeah, and a lot of. I mean, if you stand on picture 10, you know, a lot of plating, a lot of levels, a lot of things sticking out. Yet no visible windows at all. I can't see any. And we know the ship's pretty big. If you go to picture 8 or the equivalent picture 2, I mean the shuttle is I mean it's a pretty big shuttle. I mean there's relative 3D space of how big it is, but since I replicated these shots, I have a sense of how close you have to be to create that effect. I try to replicate it, and it's either pretty damn close or very far away, and it's a big. Yeah, this is a big ship. Or his big
And that-
Federer shuttle.
Well, and then they go on to say that the crew is about 30 to 40 personnel.
But if Vok isn't, if the guy isn't a spy of Vok, and someone pointed out, he could easily just lie and say, because to be fair, you wouldn't know the crew size even for 6 months, been locked into a cell. You wouldn't, you know,
True.
If you counted 30 Klingons, they could just be the 30 prison guards. You know, a ship this size, it'd be silly. I mean, I think that's probably just a, you know, probably a throwaway comment, just to make him sound important, like he knew stuff. Yeah. Look, there's two sticky, pointy things on antennas on either side of the blue elements of the solar panel bits at the bottom, which could be disruptors. Yeah, it's a very like stone feel. Look at the pieces. Yeah, they do actually. The pieces just below the deflector or the torpedo launcher have again points sticking out. But if you look at how the points sticking out link to the hull, it looks like chiseled stone and then back down. It all looks like either very odd. Very odd.
Yes. My mother always said, if you don't have something nice to say, then don't say anything at all.
Yeah,
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, like I said, the problem is we try to analyze something, compare it to Canon, work out technology. These pictures aren't, and I've digitally enhanced them to see as much as we can. You still don't see anything because they're incredibly dark pictures. But also, this is not a D7, so we can't you can't compare it to anything because it's retroactively replacing something which fits with something that doesn't fit, and shows no visible technology to similar. So there is nothing to analyze, really, because it breaks all the rules and breaks all the thing. I mean, again, this reinforces. I mean, this might be I argued this quite early on, that Discovery, by having so many mistakes and missteps, they're creating buzz discussion points. If they can then prove us wrong, because they say wait until the end, you know, we put thought in, it all fits into canon. If you can prove, you know, if this turns out to be an alternate universe, then it can be whatever the hell it wants. This can be D7, who cares? You know, that's fine. If this is all an alternate universe and then they go to the Prime at some point, because it can still be Prime but alternate, theoretically, you know, that's fine. Then it's all explained. But to tell the audience this is a D7 when it's not a D7 in the Prime timeline, which it isn't.
Yeah.
I'll wait until the end. I'm hoping they're smarter than this, but you know, it's a very strange decision that like I said, I'm hoping it's parallel timeline, alternate universe, but this is just their D7.
This is our A13.
It's a Wraith Cruiser Mark II. I mean, it's a it's a Wraith non-hybrid.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
Well,
Backview's
it is.
great.
It is cool. It's just it's not a Klingon D7. Is what we're getting at.
It literally isn't.
Yeah.
Hey, read Eagle Moss. They use kind of information. That's
Eagle Moss. See, there you go. There's a D7 right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think about this ship? A lot of you are going to say it's visual reboot. You know, we got to start being so nitpicky. We've heard that quite often, but the fact is, when you say it's Prime Timeline, when you say it ties in, when you say it's a Klingon ship, when you say it's a D7, and it's none of those things, or it doesn't appear to be any of those things, you got to step back and go, guys, what are you doing? And that's exactly what we're doing here.
And we don't want to be Stockholm Syndrome. We don't just want to accept it because we're being told it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like an Enterprise. They said this was they showed a Katinga battleship model in episode 5. Yeah. Well, we know we know the reasons why and who, and we all ignore that as being not a Katinga. You know, there's some decisions that you say, okay, because of production problems, that's not that.
But it still looks like sort of what it was supposed to look like. Yeah. It's very recognizable as a Klingon ship.
Sure. But, you know, fans are smart enough to understand when either production mistakes happen or whatnot, just not accept everything, because at some point this universe takes a life of its own. You know, 50 years. I mean, my dad watched it since his very first run in the UK, and, you know, other fans like James Corley watched it first run, and Doug Drexler watched it first run. You know, they've been working on Trek longer than these new people. You know, they have a certain privileged position. Obviously, Doug worked on Star Trek, and so, you know, it is more than some of its parts, and it's more than the D7 is not just a number and a letter. You know,
it's iconic. Let's bring back the icon. Hashtag bring back D7. Let's start it. Hashtag bring back D7.
Well, Stuart, you might just be seeing that soon. We'll see. Already have. Turns if I can get the damn thing out. Tune in on Trekyards. Hashtag D7.
Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. I want to hear your thoughts, views. What do you guys think about this ship? Does it fit? Does it not fit? What do you like the design, even though it's not a D7? What do you think? Tell us below. We always love reading those. And don't forget to subscribe. Stuttering. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can join us all the time as we do Discovery reviews. And then, look, a new ship. Look, a new piece of tech. Look, an interesting plot point. We're going to focus on those and create separate videos on those to just talk about and discuss, because a lot of people really enjoy hearing what we have to say, and we bring up some great points that sometimes we ourselves surprise ourselves with. So subscribe so you don't miss any of that, and don't forget to like and share with your friends.
And obviously try and support us on Patreon if you can, a monthly donation service or a one-time donation at trekyards.com. A little bit of money each and every month or every once in a while really does help us keep going.
That's right, because you want a Trekyards that's recognizable in the future.
Oh, don't worry, we are Prime, guys. Don't worry.
We are. But until next time, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander Kongs.
And this is a D7.
Legitimately is, yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.